name is Dylan Crespo, and this is my tattoo testimony. This is the first tattoo I got. This is the He's Greater Than I. And it's funny because a lot of people, when they talk to me about it, they ask me like, what is that, heavy? What is that? What is that, heavy? And so it's not, and I kind of made it that way so that people kind of ask about what it is. And I got it last year. And last year I was going through some stuff. When I was 16 years old, I was diagnosed with leukemia. And I've been battling that for the past 3 years. And when I got this tattoo, like all my doctors, my family, everyone kind of told me not to get a tattoo. And because it was kind of like a bad idea with still getting chemo and radiation and stuff like that. But I kind of like felt that at that moment, I had just like really affirmed myself in my faith, and I felt like I needed to put something on myself that was permanent to show myself every day and remind myself every day how lucky I am to have gone through what I've gone through. And like, you know, having leukemia, having cancer is not an easy thing. And I went through a lot of like hard times and hard struggles and stuff. And like that being said, like it was the biggest blessing that could have ever happened. It was something that forever changed my life. And this is kind of like a reminder of that. And you know, through having cancer, through going through the whole process, I got saved. I met some really amazing people, and it changed my life forever. And so this is kind of a reminder for me on a constant basis that, you know, I'm lucky to be alive, and I'm lucky to have my faith, and I thank God every day. And I'm so grateful that He is greater than I, because without Him I would be nowhere. I would be nothing, and I would have nothing to live for. And this tattoo, last summer, my grandmother passed away, and she was a big influence on my life. She was the one, when I was younger, when I was a young boy, to kind of introduce me to like Christianity. Like she brought me to start like the Vacation Bible School stuff. She brought me to church on Sundays, and like different from what I was used to. And she's really the one who like planted the seed in my life, and like was the first person to really show me what it is to, you know, live like a Christian and live like a child of God. And like I remember she was the first person to give me like those like child Bibles that had like all the pictures in it and stuff, and that was really cool. And so anyway, so she passed away over the summer, and she was kind of one of those ladies who like, she was kind of old-fashioned and didn't really like the idea of tattoos. So when she passed away, I wanted to get something to kind of remember her by. And then when I did get sick, when I got diagnosed with leukemia when I was 16, like my world got rocked. Like everything changed. And so I went from being like this, you know, 16-year-old kid, you know, with no cares in the world, to having cancer and thinking I'm gonna die. And 2 long years of that, and hitting rock bottom is what kind of drove me towards, you know, getting this tattoo. And it was something that, you know, going through all those things and going through the chemo and going through the radiation and struggling with that for 2 years, and when I got this, I could, up to this point, like this is kind of like the part of my life that kind of transitioned from being sick to, I could see the end of it. Like I could see, I only had like a couple more months left. I had like 10 months left chemo when I got this tattoo, which is still a lot, but you know, I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. And you know, when I got home from my friend taking me to go get my tattoo, I had this giant bandage on my arm. My parents were freaking out. They're like, "What the heck did you do? Like, are you okay? Like, did you need to go to the hospital?" And then when I took it off and they saw I got a tattoo, they were kind of like, "What? Like, are you kidding me?" Because like all my doctors said no. All my parents like, "You gotta listen to the doctors," and my doctors were definitely not happy about it. But you know, it was something that I felt like I needed to do at the moment. And getting this is kind of just like that turning point for me. Like, it really changed from going from being sick and being fearful of death to I'm okay. You know, because no matter what happens, I have my faith and I have my God. I'm gonna be okay either way. And at that point, like I knew I was gonna be fine, but because I could see, like I said, I could see that light at the end of the tunnel. I'm so grateful, and that's why I have these tattoos, is because it's just a constant reminder for myself of that, how blessed I am and how lucky I am.